Okay, here we are. We're going to look at our featured pair for the week ending March 19th, 2010, which happens to be the pound. Before we do that, let's just take a quick look overall at what happened here for the week. As you can see, a lot of zeros, okay, and to start out, and then we started getting some hits towards the end of the week. The only pair that actually gave us a decent return was the pound. The rest were very small, and we actually lost on the euro of 72 pips. So we ended out with 468 pips total, but the savior definitely was the pound, which is why we picked it as the featured pair. Could have used the yen simply because it filled every single day, but there was no real movement there. So we're going to go with the pound because we like making big pips. Alright, let's see here. On the pound, on the 15th, the first day in, we did not get filled at 52.70. However, we should have been thinking a little tighter. Here's a mistake we made. We had a gap to the downside. Not a big one, but a gap nevertheless. He opened at 151.76 when it closed at 52.01. That's enough to call it gap. We could have went for taking the short at 52.01 back at the close, but we did not do that. We went for the resistance at 52.70. Now, why are we looking to short on a day when we just got finished going to the upside? Well, there's the trend signal, plus the fact that it's the third day in a row. Sorry, grabbed the wrong one. It's the third day in a row of topping out. It's a sign of reaching an exhaustion point, okay? But we didn't fill, so on we go to the next day. And this time, we're going to do a double dare long because we've got the signal of the S and the B together, meaning that we were topping out, now we've bottomed out, and we've bottomed out at a point at which we're in the middle, we're in a transitional state. Anywhere within the next 2 days after a transitional state is fair game, and that's exactly how it worked out. We were able to take the distance between the low and the close, take half of that and take the entry in there, and half of the maximum stop range as the stop. Did not stop us out, got us back to the close at 52.32 for a nice gain. And then the next day we double dare short. Well, why would you double dare short? Because we had an engulfing candle. We also had the signals of the LT, meaning that we were long after being at the bottom. We went long to the top after being short to the bottom. Okay. Plus, we had a first full house. Okay. Also, I forgot to mention that on that Monday when we first started, we had a high number there in the C column. Was another reason for taking the short. But anyway, the double dare short for this day knocked us out, gave us a little hit. We also had the third Fibonacci day of the trend. We should have went for the 53.36 resistance because we're past the double daring area, so to speak. We're into that third day, which was another mistake. That's our second mistake on the pound yet, and still we did it, and it was a 35 pip loss. You pay for those things, don't you? Okay, now on to the next day. We went long. We were looking for a long, and this time we had learned our lesson from the previous day, and we went for support, and we went deep for support. We actually could have gone at 55 or so, and probably would have had another loss, but we went deep. We went looking deep down at the 50.08, down at the bottom of the previous day. Almost made it, didn't quite make it, but it set us up for the following day, Friday, to finish out the week with a nice bang because we had a squeeze, a narrow range, double trouble in the RSI. We would have preferred it being in the bias, but it was there nevertheless. Plus, it's the fifth Fibonacci day. Now, the fifth Fibonacci day of the trend, many times we would consider it as a continuation. However, because of the setup, it creates a turnaround First of all, it's squeezing in a narrow range, and we know that when we squeeze in narrow ranges, especially if we've got Fibonacci days of the trend, we want to see something happen. And that's exactly what happened. We're near the lows with the close. It's a narrow range, so we can take the short entry to stop underneath there, and it paid off very well, as you can see. Let's look at the chart, just so for those of you who are still very oriented by the chart. It's important to see this. I mean, you can see it. Here was the Monday. After breaking the running line, it went back. It found support from the retracement to go long, hit it back, but it did not close above the baseline. And then this day closed above the baseline, but the high wasn't breached. We also ran into this value area where it rejected it on Thursday with a down move inside bar, narrow range. That's telling us everything. It's take the short if it breaks the low, and that's exactly what happened. So there you have it, which is what we didn't see it in that fashion in the QuickView, but we saw it in the QuickView fashion, which is the Fibonacci day, the squeezing, the narrow range, the failure of the top. It's all beautiful. We've got the double trouble. It was just beautiful, and we got paid. Okay, that's it. The featured pair was the pound for March the 19th, which are our week ending date, 2010.